Hello, hello, hello. This is Els coming to you from Bemis Crafty Corner, and I have a quick project for you today. This is just kind of one of those things that breaks up and busts up and gets rid of some of your scraps. And what they are is these cute little books. Now, recently I got these in a Happy Mail from my friend Wanda, and she sent these little books to me, and they're like little dangle charms that you can put on like a journal or something like that. And I thought, they are so cute and I want to share them with everybody. So I decided to kind of visually deconstruct them and show you guys how they're done, because you can obviously see they're not exactly the same size. They're a little off. And that's kind of the beauty of this project. So let's take a look on how to do this. What are we going to need? We're going to need a cutter, some scraps of white paper or cardstock. I like to work with the cardstock simply because it's thicker and I need less of it. You need a scoring tool, some clips, some clamps, maybe some large binder clips. I always forget what they're called. I always want to call them butterflies. Some Gorilla Glue or E6000, whatever you prefer, some regular craft glue, a pair of scissors. If you have glue on bales, a glue on bale is going to work here. If you do not have the glue on bales, you can use a small paper clip, or you can use an eye pin. Okay, we're going to need some scrap paper, and I have some scrap pieces in here that we're going to be working with. So let me grab these out. And we're going to need a scoreboard. All right, so the first thing we're going to do is we are going to score a piece of paper, and we're going to score this every inch. All right, so once I have it scored, what I'm going to do at this point is I'm going to cut this into some strips that I'm going to be using to make the pages on the inside of the book. So I have my little cutter here, my trimmer, and I'm just going to be cutting some 1-inch wide strips. So I'm going to line this up on the 1 inch. And that's the first one. And with cardstock, I see that it tends to take 2 strips to do it. So I will be cutting 2 strips. Let's make sure we get it all straight. Okay. And then for the rest of the cutting, we are going to be taking our scrap paper. We're going to be cutting a 1-inch strip of that as well. So we might as well get that out of the way now. And that's it for the cutting here, really. So what we're going to do is we're going to take these 2 pieces and we're going to glue them end to end. So we're going to overlap 1 inch on each one block, making sure that we keep them lined up top and bottom, just like that. And then we're going to accordion fold this together. So we're just going to do the hills and valleys, just like you did a fan. Just make sure that you keep the top and the bottom nice and flat and straight all the way across. There we go. Now, because we folded this back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, it's not a square. It's not a 1-inch square anymore. It's not. It's actually a little longer this way. So we're going to be working with this distance because that's the 1 inch. So now at this point, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my clamp. Where did I put it? There it is. I'm going to take my clamp and I'm going to put my clamp on here just to hold it together for the moment. And I'm going to take a small scrap of paper and I'm just going to cut about a 3-inch long strip, and I want it to be about 1/4 of an inch wide. just like that. Okay, not much. So what we're going to do is we're going to put some glue on the back of this, just regular glue. And then working on the side that's actually the inch high, we're just going to wrap this sort of firm because we're using this to hold it all together. So we're going to wrap this around. We're just using it to square it up, okay? Once we have that on there, that's going to hold our piece together. And then on one side of this, on the section where we've wrapped around, we're going to take our jewelry pin or our glue-on bail and our Gorilla Glue. We're going to put a generous amount of Gorilla Glue on here, or your E6000, and then we're going to take our bail and we're going to put our bail on it. And then I'm just going to put a little bit more glue on the top of the bail, and we're going to put that away. Now, we're going to take regular glue, and we're just going to place it on to our piece, and we're going to take our 1-inch strip, and we're going to place that on top. Now, we can have it come out a little bit if you want to. And then we're going to come up to the top where we have the bail, and we're going to finger fold this kind of over the top, just like that. And we're going to put a little bit of glue on the other side. Yes, it's all going to open up. That's okay, because we're going to clamp this all down in a minute. Okay? And we're going to wrap around the other side, just like that. And then when we get to the edge here, we're just going to clip that off. Okay? And then we're going to take our clamp. We're going to put our clamp back on. Make sure that our bail's in there nice. And we're just going to let that set. And it's going to sit up for a good 4 to 6 hours. So we're going to have a whole bunch of these sitting around, okay? Now, once we get past that part, let's take a look at what it looks like. I did this one earlier. So once we have the bail in here and it's really well adhered and we've got it all squared up, now you can begin to decorate this. Now, how do you decorate it? Well, it's pretty simple. You can put those tiny little pieces, scraps, the not quite big enough to make a snippet scrap of ribbon on here. You can put on tiny little appliques or those little leftover pieces from lace. You can put on small inchies that you've reduced down to like a 1/2 inch. You can put those on here. You can put some flat back pearls on here or some jewels, however you want to decorate this. It's, of course, beautiful just the way it is. So it's entirely up to you. And let's see what we get in the end. All right, so we have our 2 original pieces, and you can see on this one here, she used a little piece of ribbon and a little flat back pearl, and then she put a little charm on here with some little pearls and a little chain just to hang that on. And then on this one, she used one of those little teeny applique flowers and a leaf, and then she put a little crystal and a little pearl on here and a little piece of chain. Very beautiful. So these are the ones that I made earlier. Okay. So the first one I did was this one right here. And I used a little piece of lace and a little applique with a little pearl on it and wrapped it up. And I put a little ink on the edges of this one just to make it look a little worn. Okay. And I just added a little butterfly and a little dangle chain. And so that'll hang on my book just like that on a journal. And then the other one I did, my homage to Amy, made this one a little bit more boho. I went with some larger pieces of hardware on here, and I added my beads, and I put a little tiny image on there, just like I would on a regular one, and then I added a little tassel to it so that we could have that extra. So that's it. Those are the miniature little book charms. Uses up a lot of scraps, these little teeny scraps that you didn't think you had anything to do with. Now you have something to do with them. That's all I have for you today, guys. Do me a favor, if you haven't done so already, hit that red button and subscribe. I'd love to have you stick around. Like me, ring my bell, and share me with all your friends. Because, yeah, I'm making little bookie dangle thingies. Till the next time, guys. Bye-bye.